What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Target exclusive figures that were just released recently. So first off, we have the Justice Lord Batman. So really cool to get that. We have the Justice Lord Superman already. So awesome to get the Batman to go along with him. Then we have the Connor Hawke Green Arrow. So Oliver Queen's son that takes over the role of Green Arrow. Looks pretty cool there. And then finally we have Hourman, which looks awesome as well. So another member to add to our JSA, which is really cool. And then we did also find at the same time we got the Platinum Edition of Icon. So we did the normal Icon a while ago, so now we have the Platinum Edition as well. So we'll just kind of look at that and compare it to the other one as well. So I'm excited to check out these 4 figures. So let me get them open and out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with the Justice Lord Batman, who is still Bruce Wayne, but the Justice Lords debuted in the Justice League animated series. In a parallel universe, the Justice Lords take control of Earth following President Lex Luthor's execution of the Flash, and Batman was able to clean up Gotham City, and the Lords were able to eliminate most of crime from the planet. So he looks really cool here. Like the design overall for this. Like, I'm sure we've seen this body before, but it's not like standing out to me. It just seems a little bit different, especially like down towards the feet. But I do like the colors a lot, that it's mostly all this black color, but then we get the really dark blue. So like the cowl into the cape is all this dark blue. You really notice it on the cape there, but nice, really dark blue color. But then we get some blue highlights, like especially there on the gauntlets, and some like stripes there around on the boots. So it just looks really nice. Love the color variation. I love that it's mostly all black, like I said, with the darker colors. Like I said, the cowl is much darker, so like his whole cowl into the neck piece is darker, but it is a blue, so I like that it stands out a bit. Has the nice whited out eyes and just stoic Batman face. We get the nice big silver bat logo there on his chest, silver belt around the waist as well, so utility belt. Like I already pointed out, we get the gauntlets, and his undersuit there is all this nice textured suit running all the way through it, down to the boots there on his feet, where he has this boot design. Like I said, I'm assuming we've had these before. They're just not standing out as something I recognize, but just a really nice design overall for this. And of course, we get the nice fabric cape. It's got that like stiffer material. I don't know what you'd even sort of call this design, but it feels really nice and stuff, and has a metal wire in it, so we get that to move around and everything. So just a nice look overall for the Justice Lord Batman. But movement-wise, the head will twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far, so again, not a whole lot down, but more up there, so the movement's back and forth. We have the shoulders that will come up to 90 with the butterfly back and forth, and will rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend up that far, so pretty much all the way up on itself. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around, and should we have flex back and forth there on the ball joint. Then we go to the ab crunch, so just under their chest, crunch back and forth, and twist around nice and easy there. And then at the waist, crunch back and forth and twist all the way around there as well. Then we go down to the hips. That'll come up. Of course, it feels like the underwear is in the way, so it can only go about that far. It's not too bad, but not all the way up to 90. And out to the side can only go that far as well. No thigh twist on him, but the double knee joint will bend up that far to the back. And then we can go down to the boot. That'll rock back and forth and twist side to side with a little toe joint on the end of it there. So it works out overall, pretty standard for the McFarlanes. A little bit different in like some spots and stuff. Like their wrist design was a little bit different, where it's not, I guess, really not on the ball joint. It's just that sort of like normal joint design, so that's a little different. Like I said, just the boots and everything seem different or odd to me, but overall it works out pretty decent. I do have a little bit of issues getting him to stand, but nothing that I can't really get to work out. So accessory wise, the only thing he comes with is a batarang. So we get a batarang that looks like it's straight from the game versions, so we get that just in this all silver color that we can put into his hand. I say, does he even have a hand? But yeah, I guess he does have a hand like this, so there you can kind of put the batarang in his hand there like that, or get him posed up however you want there. And he of course comes with the base. We'll put him on. So there, I tried to pose him up a little bit. Of course, I'm not very good, and it doesn't really work out and do exactly what I want, but it looks very awesome for the Justice Lord Batman. And we have already had a Justice Lord in the past, so we had the Justice Lord Superman. So there we have Superman and Batman there together now, which is cool. And of course, we have his card as well. So there's, just an artwork, so it's not an exact picture. So it's probably like McFarlane probably took a little bit of liberty with the figure or something and changed it a little bit. But then we have the story there on the back of Bruce Wayne that says the Justice Lords hail from an alternate universe where the Justice League decided to enforce law and order through any means necessary. Years ago, the Justice League defeated them, and Wonder Woman returned to their world with them to make sure they stayed in check. But something went wrong. Now Wonder Woman's back in the world of Batman Beyond and Superman, and Bruce Wayne sense that she's hiding something, as Terry McGinnis takes a dangerous trip to the Justice Lord's world to find out Wonder Woman's secrets, and encounters a version of himself whose life took a very different path. The Justice Lords return to Earth in search of Wonder Woman. So we got a card very similar to this with this Justice Lord Superman. He came with a Batman Beyond from that, so it seems like they're just pretty much carrying over that same thing for that. But very cool overall for this Batman. Like I said, I do like the look with the darker colors of the black and dark blue and everything. Just makes it stand out quite a bit. So overall, a nice design for this Batman. And next up, we have Connor Hawke as Green Arrow. Now, he's the son of Oliver Queen and Sandra Hawke, and he was bullied as a child, and so he developed anger issues, and to keep him out of trouble, he was sent to the same monastery that his father went to, and there he became a master of martial arts and archery. Oliver ended up returning to the monastery following his separation from Black Canary, and would teach Connor everything he could, but after Oliver was killed in a terrorist bombing, Connor would carry on the legacy of Green Arrow and take his father's place in the Justice League of America. So he looks cool here, and I'd have to say overall this body looks cool. Like, it seems like something different. Of course, it could be a lot of reuse that I'm just not recognizing, but everything seems new and different about it to me, so that's pretty nice. So we do get, a tall character still, but a nice, real thin, skinny body, but looks good overall. So there we get his face. So I love how he has the longer blonde hair almost into a flat top, and then has of course the domino mask, whatever design there around his eyes with the wide eyes, looks good. Then he's got the brown leather design on top, so we get a hood going into a V-shaped vest or whatever on top of him, and I love the black straps going around. That all looks nice with green spandex underneath, so we get the green going down the sides into the legs, and I like when it transitions to the legs, we start to get a lot more texture and design into it and everything. Little pockets on the sides of his thighs, knee pads into the brown boots on his feet, and it has the little grips and stuff designs, big cuffs at the top of that. And then we get his arms, so again he has some designs going into the arms, cuffs and covers to cover up, especially for using a bow and arrow, especially the gold band on the side here protects your arm from getting hit, and a belt around the waist with a nice gold arrowhead on it there. So looks pretty good overall. I like this design, like I said, and to me it seems like a new figure design. But for movements, we'll get that'll twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far. So again, just a little movements in the head. Shoulders will come up to 90, no butterfly joint thing there, which is different, and we'll rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend again all the way up on itself. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around, has the ball joint there that'll flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so upper ab crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then we go down to the waist, we'll crunch back and forth a little and twist all the way around. The hips will come up to 90, and out to the side he can do the splits. We get a bit of a thigh twist up in there. The double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not bad at all. And then of course down to the foot, we'll rock back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. Oh, there you can see the cuff came undone. I don't know if it's supposed to or just fell down, not sure, but there the cuff does move around, so you have to worry about that, I guess. But overall, pretty decent, nice smooth easy movements, so no issues or anything with that. But it does seem to be built a little bit different, has a different feel to him, it seems like. Now, accessory-wise, since he does take after his father of Green Arrow, we do have to, of course, give him bow and arrow stuff. So we get a nice big quiver here that will go onto his back, and it has arrows, so of course they're just sort of stuck down in there, so you get the arrows sticking out of the back. So we can put this in his back. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I can't get the quiver in his back. I'm getting it in, and it'll look like it goes in, but as soon as I let go, it just falls right back out. So it seems like maybe the peg is a little bit too big for the hole or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I can't get that to stay into his back. It just, like I said, it looks like it'll go in, I'm pushing it. It seems like it's in, but as soon as I let go, it just falls right back out. And it seems to almost be shaving down the ends, to more of a point stuff. So I think the hole may be too small. I'm not sure, but yeah, unfortunately we can't put that on there. We'll have to do some with the hole to try and get that to hold on to his back, because obviously I want to add that look to him. But he does also come with a bow, so we'll go ahead and put the bow into his hand. So there he just got the bow in his hand like that. And like I said, it really stinks that we don't have the quiver sticking off, so you could see that. And doesn't come with any individual arrows or anything, so can't really show that off. Of course, he does come with the base as well, so we'll put him on just to keep him stable. And his card as well. So there's Green Arrow, Connor Hawke from Green Arrow. Looks pretty nice with that design. Not exactly what we see here, but not too far off. But then on the back, we get the story for Connor. And it says Connor Hawke was the son of Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, although his father did not know of his existence until the two met at Ashram Monastery during a dark time in Queen's life. Connor showed a natural aptitude for archery and martial arts, and Queen took him under his wing. When he eventually discovered the truth about their connection, Queen was mistrustful of the young man, and before they could repair their relationship, Queen was killed in an explosion. Connor took up his father's mantle as Green Arrow and even joined the Justice League in his stead. After Oliver Queen returned from the dead, Connor was able to bond with him as a son, but their relationship remained fragile. So there's a little bit more explaining of what I've already said before. So that is cool overall. And of course, with him being the son of Green Arrow, we can bring in our other Green Arrows. So here is our older Oliver Queen with the nice, more classic design, and then just the one we have from the game. So you can just see the different variations and pick whichever you think. Obviously, I think he goes much better with this older design here, but just different variations of Green Arrow there to go along with Connor. And next up, we have Hourman, who's Rex Tyler. Now, he was a chemist that discovered a miraculous chemical known as Miraclo, which would give him strength, vitality, and increased speed, but the human body could only process the chemical for 1 hour at a time, which of course would become his greatest weakness, so only being able to have your superpowers for 1 hour at a time, which makes sense why he's called Hourman, and like that he wears the little hourglass on his chest there as well. So overall, a nice character, especially to add him to the JSA or Justice League, whatever team you want to add him to, but looks good overall with the design. So love that he's got the nice yellow hood into the cape design, looks good. So we get the yellow hood, which is a separate piece, of course. It's like with that Green Arrow, I just showed that old one, the hood's going to be on here and like, separate, so you can move the head around and stuff, but it's going to look really awkward unless you just have it looking straight on like that. But it is like a separated piece. And we also get the cloak that has a nice color around and stuff, and the cloaks there blowing in the wind, so we get a nice plastic cape here. So it's just, like I said, just sort of molded in that position. Then we get his outfit. So it does look black. I assume it looks back in the camera, it almost has like a green color, but I'm trying to tell in real life what it looks like. To me, it just looks black. But we get this nice outfit, probably spandex design or whatever there. So down his arms and midsection, we get the black underwear with the big belt there on his waist. So that's pretty nice, almost big like championship belt. Like I said, the hourglass on his neck to show how much time he has with his powers. Then we get the yellow spandex pants under the underwear there, and they have a nice little texture design to them, all the way to the boots there on his feet. So mostly black boots, but the black and red stripes there looks good overall. So overall, nice character design. Hourman's always a character I like the look of him and everything, so this kind of carries it out there. So pretty happy with the design. Now, movement-wise, like I said, the head's going to be hard to get to just because it's under the hood here, so you can get the head to move back and forth, look up and down a little as well, but it's all under the hood, so hard to really get it to move too much. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow, which the bottom joint was real stiff there, but can bend all the way up on itself again. The wrist will twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the upper ab crunch, so crunch back and forth and twist around, and then should be at the waist, crunch a little and twist around there as well. Then we go to the hips, that'll come up to 90, out to the side that far, not fully to the splits. A little bit of a thigh twist, the double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, and then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So again, the pretty standard movement, so nothing really out of the ordinary with him. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't come with any extra accessories, so the only thing we get is the base to put him on. So it'd be nice if he had something, but I think for his powers, he doesn't really come with anything else, so there's nothing really anything to give to him, so we just get him there the way he is. And then, of course, we get his cards. So there's a nice old picture of him from the JSA, which, of course, we're going with the Justice Society. And then on the back, we get his story, which says several heroes have taken the codename Hourman. The first was brilliant chemist Rex Tyler, who invented a vitamin he called Miraclo. It gave Rex superpowers, but only for 1 hour. Donning a distinctive cape and hooded costume, Rex was a founding member of the Justice Society of America. Unfortunately, he became addicted to Miraclo and was unable to develop a non-addictive version. Rex was almost killed by time-warping villain Extant, but android Hourman Matthew Tyler switched places to save him. So there's more explanation on Hourman there. And overall, like I said, I really like the design of him, and now that we have him, we can add him to the rest of our Justice Society members. So there's Hourman added in with the rest of our Justice Society we're trying to build. So of course we got Flash, Green Lantern, Wildcat, Mr. Terrific, Commander Steel, Hawkman, and Power Girl. Just again continuing to build out more of that version of the Justice Society we want. So a nice addition to the team. And our final figure we're going to look at today is the Platinum Edition of Icon. Now, of course, not going to go into a whole lot of details with him because we've already looked at Icon more recently. But I think the Icon, at least if I remember right, the other one was a McFarlane store exclusive. So it's kind of weird that there's now this Platinum Edition out, and we were able to easily find it at Target. But it looks cool with the different colors of the black and red. Now, this does sort of match up with a comic cover from Icon and Rocket Season 1, Number 1 from September 2021, which had, different variations. This was one where he was in this costume, and then there was a variation where he was in the normal green and red outfit. So it's kind of cool. We get the different variations. This one also does come with a different head, so it's more of a stoic head, maybe one that looks older, so it could be like an older version of Icon. Love how he has like the stubble and everything on his chin and just normal looking eyes, where the other one had the like glowing eyes and stuff. But otherwise, it looks exactly the same. Actually, I'll go and just bring in that other figure. So here is the other one. Like I said, they are normal with the red and green design. You can see, like I said, the difference in the faces there going from this one that's, looks much younger, has the glowing eyes, where this one looks older with the stubble and normal eyes. But otherwise, outfit design, they're going to be exactly the same, just change the colors from the green and red and black and stuff. So just switch them all up there, get the different color capes. So go from this shiny green to this shiny darker red and everything. So it just looks cool with this design. Like I said, not going to go into too many details about the story and stuff, just because, like I said, we went through that with the other one. But I will go and just do his movements. So his head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so not much. Shoulders up to 90 with the butterfly, rotate around, bicep twist, and the double elbow joint. Again, stiff with that lower joint, but can bend all the way up there. Get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so upper ab crunch and twist, lower ab crunch just a little and twist. And then we go down to the hips that'll come up to 90 and out to the side to the splits. A little bit of a thigh twist and the double knee joint that will bend up that far to the back. And then down to the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So it works out just fine and probably exactly like the other icon. And of course we get the wired cape on the back there, so you can get it posed around and do whatever you want with that there. Then accessory wise, he just comes with additional hands for flying, so the flat hands like that, just like the other one came with. We of course get the base we can put him on, so that'll keep him up. And we get the same card as well, so it still has the same picture as that last card, and you could read some of the story there if you did not catch out the last one. So you can pause and read that if you want to there. But overall, it's cool to get this icon. Like I said, I don't know what the story behind it is, because like I said, I think the normal icon was a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, so you wouldn't think you'd find any icons in stores. And then this one being the platinum version, so I'm not sure if it's like a Target exclusive, or because that's where I found it. There was multiple on the shelf, so not exactly sure what's going on. But yeah, it's just cool to get the different variation of icon in the different colors, like that we get the different head. We can obviously pick and choose which one we want for each buddy and everything. So overall, looks good to have this edition of icon. Well, that's going to be it for our DC Multiverse Gold Label Target exclusive figures, where we got the Justice Lord Batman, Connor, Hawke Green Arrow, and Hourman. And then, like I said, we also did find the platinum version of Icon at Target. So all four of these figures are really cool. Really, of course, I like the look of the Batman. Probably not going to be a Batman I use a lot or anything, but just really like his look overall, especially with the black and dark blue. Just like that color combination. Connor Hawke is really cool. Like his design, like I said, I think that may be a new body. Again, I'm horrible with remembering this stuff, but I think it may be. It just seems we can't get the quiver into his back, so we'll have to work on that. Hourman is really cool. He seems to me like the most basic of all the characters, but I just like him the most just because he's a part of the JSA and everything. And of course, the platinum icon is cool as well. So let me know what you thought of these four figures down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.